Okay, so starting from the beginning.
Laura is here for the meeting. We're supposed to have a meeting at 3 o'clock.
No.
Oh, I think
No, sorry, no.
I think she misunderstood the online one. She thinks it's
Yeah, tell her to join online. All right, sorry guys.
let's just
Oh yeah, sorry for that. Little interruption here. Okay, so we're gonna happen to places where you're gonna go. We're gonna learn a little bit more about the performance and stuff and the challenges you might to face eventually. And yeah, we're gonna try to check out the practices as well. So where do I have this little slide here? There you go. So starting from the courts and the structures and how everything works. So we have federal and provincial jurisdiction. And then we have provincial courts, we have superior courts, we have Court of Appeal, Supreme Court of Canada, and of course, then we laws, right? Now, to understand the role, and where eventually you'll be assigned to, we need to understand that pretty much like the whole country operates on the both provincial and federal jurisdictions. So the criminal law is federal, but it can still be handled at the provincial courts. But usually provincial courts taking care of the civic and family matters most of the time. So federal is mostly related to criminal pretty much all the time. However, they can forward those cases to the provincial courts as well, and then those things are coming back, right? Now, superior courts deal with the all the serious criminal, all the serious criminal stuff. And then we have the Court of Appeals, which review all the decisions pretty much. And eventually we have the Supreme Court of Canada. So as an interpreter, you will be working at one of them or all of them. It all depends. It also depend how comfortable you're gonna feel about different cases. If you want to participate in different cases. So eventually over time, yeah, there will be a lot. Like for example, now we cooperate with the provincial court of Alberta, and then we also cooperate with the provincial court of Saskatchewan. Another one is the federal court of Saskatchewan as well. That's where we currently have running the meetings between Saskatoon to Regina. For Alberta, currently, most of the time we're running stuff for Calgary, Red Deer, and Edmonton. For BC, there's starting going on a little bit, but mostly in the mainland. That's where, like in the bigger cities. So that's pretty much where the court hearings are currently happening right now. Okay, so those are courts. Now, if we take provincial courts, so let's say Alberta or like the Saskatchewan, maybe Ontario, maybe. So each of those provinces manage like their own kind of system and administrating laws. So if we're talking about Alberta strictly, for example, so courts and justice, like they're like how like the civic disputes, maybe some contracts, maybe some family laws, maybe some random disputes. provincial offenses. So in the provincial offenses, we can include pretty much traffics. So like any tickets related to traffic. So, and anything that will be related to the province itself, if that makes sense. Now, if we jump to the like the actual type of courts, so the difference between provincial court, which is kind of like an entry level, let's say that it's an entry level court, and then we have Supreme Court, which is a little bit higher tier, so they're above that, and eventually, if there is if those two are covered, and let's say the case went to the both of those courts, eventually you can deal with the Court of Appeal, where they do the review of the decision from the other two courts. So that's kind of like how it works. And then after that, we have the Supreme Court of Canada, and Supreme Court is like the major legal questionings were happening usually, right? So all the decisions and stuff are going over there. All right, so if we talk about the actual like which is higher, so we're going from federal, provincial, so they can make laws, and then the provincial is here, the federal is here, the appeals is here, and eventually you have the at the end you have the Court of Canada for that. Now, each of those cases might be different, and in each of those courts, you might also do it different. Sometimes it depends from the judges. Sometimes they have more requirements. For example, that not all of the interpreters will be allowed to do interpretation. Let's say, sorry for that. Where did I stop? Here. So not all of the interpreters will be able to, let's say, hop in right away to the Supreme Court, for example, right? All right. So where interpreters fit beside the courts? So interpreters are pretty much most important people when it comes to providing that service to the clients and to the legal system. And it's not just like currently we are working with the physiotherapy sessions or any other sessions. Here, your interpretation actually matter. So each one little word does matter. If anything will change, if you miss something, if you decide to not interpret something, the life of the person can change. We can do that. Let's say an innocent person will end up in jail. A guilty person might get out from the jail. So it all depends. We need to be sure that whenever you guys gonna fit in which of those places, you need to be sure that you know what you're talking about when you interpreting. And it must be always translated pretty much in these cases word to word, if it's possible, right? So if we look at the entire justice system in Canada, well, everyone, so like whenever you will translate and the justice people, like the police officers or the lawyers or the judges, they will look for the major three things pretty much. So you have to be fairness will be the number one. You have to be accurate, that's number two, and you have to be absolutely neutral. That's going to be number three. And based on that, you'll be able to do that interpretation. If any of those major three things gonna fail, you might be removed from the session. And it happens before, it happens with our company a couple of times as well, where the interpreters will not accurate, or they maybe start talking to the clients beside the actual courtroom. So there was a lot of different issues where we received the complaints, and eventually either we lost the clients, like the law offices, or the interpreter was like removed right away. So just keep in mind that you always need to be like best of the best whenever in those settings you start doing interpretation. Yeah. Now the police stations, RCMPs, and anything related to that. So yes, we're talking here arrests, any statements, problems, interrogations, anything that will be related. Sometimes it's even a quick ER when there is an emergency and the interpreter is needed at the, let's say, at the local prison. Sometimes maybe something's going on. Other than that, there might be a different maybe testimonies from the witnesses. So sometimes the interpreters are needed over there as well. So the police stations and RCMPs, like, yeah, that's where the interpreters are usually on call. Most of the sessions are happening over the phone somehow, but yes, they are pretty friendly for this type of session. So any phone calls or virtual sessions, we didn't send actually anyone to the police station, I think, in the last 6 or 8 months. So usually it's a remote sessions. The lawyer client meetings, well, here we talking mostly law offices, private clients. This is full private sector, and that's where you have the meeting when they prepare for different cases. Well, there is a pre-trial questions, cross-examinations, when they want to build like a full defense for the client, maybe, or the full accusation for the other party. All the testimonies are coming up. So here you might be interpreting directly for the client involved in the case in the future at the court. It can happen like that as well. And then eventually we have the court proceedings. So yeah, trials, hearings, sentencing. Again, there can be like the cross-examination as well. So in those cases, interpreters are usually sitting somewhere close to the person that they need to translate for. And it can be both party. It can be defendant, or it can be like the witnesses. So it all depends. But interpreter is kind of like very close always to the person that will be translating for. Immigration and the refugees, well, here we do not have a much currently, like from our company perspective. But again, interpreters are involved in all immigration documents. Usually that's where the side translation is coming up, because that's very important. That's where we always recommend telling the interpreters and recommend the clients to not involve interpreters in a translation for them for any documents. Of course, the side translation can be done, but not filling the documents for them. And that's where the private clients are usually miss that part because they do not know. So that's something that I would say, yes, just be careful whenever you're trying to help your provide interpretation. Just avoid any any documentation where it need to be filled up, need to be done by the clients. Now, the whole legal system, like all those pillars, I would say, like, you must be sure, again, that everyone understands whenever you are providing interpretation. If it's in your native language, the client need to understand that. If you're translating in English, The client need to understand that too. Sorry, the judge need to understand, and the lawyers, whatever you're providing. So again, you have to be fluent, absolutely fluent in both of those languages. Because keep in track that all the proceedings at the court, they're usually recorded as well. And then whenever they want to listen to the transcript from that, they might to find some problems after that the interpreter maybe did not provide the actual interpretation or was mistaken somewhere or missed something. So be sure that you're doing all the best what you can whenever you provide that interpretation. Another thing is that everyone need to be if someone do not understand what's going on over there, and whenever you're providing the interpretation, that proceeding, that recording can be provided to another interpreter or translator or a transcriber speaking in the same language, and that person, the third party, will verify if you as an interpreter you were correct or not, if there were any mistakes or not, and if there will be something that they pick up that was wrong and was affecting the case, it might to start all over again. But well, eventually you will not be they will not want to work with you anymore. So just be sure about that whenever you're providing the translation. Both languages must be absolutely clear, absolutely fluent in that. Accuracy, well, again, we're talking about accuracy. So everything must be said. You must be accurate. There is no other option. Neutral, please, you have to be neutral. Absolutely. There, you cannot show your emotions. Sometimes even a little smirk on your face might to make an impact on the things, how the jury is looking at the case. Maybe they noticed your maybe you were shaking a head yes or no or something like that, or you were maybe smiling about something that was you assuming was a lie. So there's a lot of situations when that neutrality is very important because a lot of people is watching and they might to start assuming the same thing. So you have to be careful with that. Now, if we go for the interpretation in the complex situations, so all the let's say in the bail or cross examinations, well, and that's a very formal sessions, and you must be sure that you are following up all the procedures as well. Usually those procedures are stated before it starts. In our case, in our company, we also provide as much information as possible to that. So interpreter is aware what this is going to be about, be the topic, and what they can expect during that cross-examination. It's going to be a more complex and more difficult words might be used. I'm usually trying to provide the best glossary as I can regarding that topic, right? So now if we talk about actual like the interpretation itself, so again, like a quick example, if we say you may leave, or you say you must leave, are like, you know, they're completely different things. But if you will if your maybe your language or English will not be like the fluent one, and you might to say something that people do not understand, some of them might write it like they may leave, and some of them might understand that you must, right? So be sure that all those words are provided to that. Okay. All right, so jumping further, or a real court performance. So what separates the good interpreter from the average, I would say, interpreter? Well, maybe not average, the community interpreter. So in those cases, listening. That's where your short memories is very important. That's where note-taking techniques are important. We're gonna talk about note-taking probably tomorrow, Tuesday, on Wednesday. We're gonna talk about this a little bit. I have a few materials regarding that, so might be handy. But yeah, technically, the legal appointments might be running very fast. And again, you might to be forced to start remembering things where during the testimony people were talking about, but it was a little bit fast. So definitely your short memory gonna be on a high level here. Your note taking, definitely numbers, dates, names. Those are the things that eventually you will need to start noting, because you might forget, especially if we're talking maybe a case regarding to maybe money or something where, you know, all the numbers are coming up. So just be prepared for that. Now, whenever you're working with judges and lawyers, well, that's a little bit well, it's tricky. So the lawyer might tell you you cannot do one thing, and then you eventually go to the court and the judge will say, no, you're fine, you can do that. So for example, we have let's say the lawyer will say, like, hey, you cannot bring your notebook with you, and the judge will actually ask you, where is your notebook? So not all, you must be prepared for two different situations. Sometimes if there's a court clerk who will figure out something totally different as well, and that's where the chaos or confusion can look, right? So just be prepared for different situations with the lawyers and judges, especially. Most of the judges are already, I would say, experienced to work with interpreters. There is a lot of different listening, a lot of different cross-examinations, and a lot of different criminal cases where the judges are prepared for that. When they know that, yes, if there will be someone accused and doesn't speak English, the interpreter will be provided. And they're most of the time very friendly as well. So even if you will get lost at some point, they will help you. Now, the lawyers might not be that kind. So the lawyers might be a little bit different. Sometimes they expect a little bit more from the interpreters, and yeah, and they can confuse people as well. So usually if something like if we have a case and coming from the lawyer or any like the lawyer office, I'm usually verifying at least 2 times if that's what you guys want to do, that's what you want to talk about. Are we doing the same? Is it the same location still? Probably some of you are already doing legal sessions, so we're like remote sessions. Sometimes we're missing the links for the sessions, which are coming like 15 minutes before the actual appointment. So it's a little bit more messy to work with the lawyers. That's probably that's how it works pretty much. Now, handling pressure. Well, handling pressure, that's going to be a lot, and for that we're going to probably spend more than today. I was thinking to actually work on one full webinar about that, and then we'll see how that will go. So but yeah, that's one of the important, that's where we're eventually going to the court. And even if you're prepared, eventually you're entering the room where there's a lot of people, and you don't even know what to do. You start asking the questions. You're gonna start be confused about the things because that's gonna be maybe your first time. You might start making mistakes because you'll be nervous. So maybe your translation will not be accurate on the first time. So usually to handling that pressure in the proceedings, well, we start from something small. So let's say maybe a quick civic case about like speeding, or maybe wrong parking, or something else that will still be done at the court, but it's not going to be under that high pressure. So the interpreters can use to it and can actually see how what's going on at the courtroom, who is who, and what are the different locations of spots and stuff. So we can start from something easy, but eventually the interpreter will want to do more and more. That's where the interpreter can end up at the criminal cases eventually, and well, start running the whole proceedings live about some serious stuff. So that all depends. That pressure also comes from, if you'll be nervous, people can notice that. So your voice might to change, your tone might to change. You might to lose some details. Like maybe you're gonna first start forgetting things from your stress. So just be prepared that a lot can happen at the court, but whenever you're gonna start working as a first time, you'll be assigned to something easy. So you will still be able to meet the structure of the room, the structure of the court building, see where is everything going on, and eventually it's going to be easier and easier the more you go, the more you're gonna work better with that, right? Another thing I would say, handling the pressure for the proceedings is just being at the court. Let's say you're coming at 9 a.m. Upon your 9 a.m. hearing, and suddenly you're gonna hear like, okay, you guys need to wait until 11:30. And now some of the interpreters are calling us right away, like, so should I leave the court? Should I not leave the court? Should I talk to someone? And that's where the panic starts. That's where they're getting confused. You guys booked me at 9 a.m. Now I have to sit here and wait and nothing is happening. So again, don't worry about anything. Do not panic. You are booked from 9 a.m. and it doesn't matter what's going to happen. Your time is always ticking in this case. And if they ask you to wait, well, that's fine. Let's say you are just on the standby pretty much. But also keep in mind to not go too far away, because everything can change. They can say, okay, we're going to start 11:30, but at some point they might just run out of the courtroom and say like, okay, so this one is canceled. You guys come in next, right? So just be prepared for this. Okay, let me see. I had a couple of the videos today. So let's maybe start. Yeah. So I have a video. What is the life of the interpreter? So let's see. Hopefully it's gonna work. There you go.
My name is Aide Klaus, and I interpret English and Spanish.
My name is David Sweet Cordero, and I interpret English to Spanish, Spanish to English. My name is Tin Quan. I'm a California certified court interpreter for the Vietnamese language. So I was raised biculturally, binationally. My mother's Mexican, my father's American. When I was a political refugee staying in a refugee camp in Thailand, I would be called upon to interpret
I was born and raised in El Salvador, and I went to a bilingual school, so I was exposed to both languages. I just became fascinated with transferring things from one language to another.
The role of the court interpreter is to serve as an instrument for communication among the different players in the court, making sure that everybody, regardless of their language ability, national origin, ethnicity, or culture, has access to the court system.
My name is Viola Garcia. I work for Contra Costa County Superior Courts, and I'm the interpreter coordinator. Every morning, I work on a daily calendar for the next day, just to make sure that all the courts are provided with the interpreters that they need daily.
First impression you have of a courthouse is you walk in there, everything is very grand, and immediately you feel intimidated by it. You have to go through security, through the metal detector, and then you have all these deputies standing in the front entrance of the courthouse.
It's hard to talk about a typical day because work is extremely varied. But generally speaking, we start at 8 or 8:30. If we need equipment, we pick up equipment. Then we go to the courtroom that we've been assigned to. We can do a hearing that can take from less than a minute. We could possibly be assigned to a trial that can last even months.
I interpret for a wide variety of cases, from a traffic infraction to a murder trial. That's something that's just part of the interpreter culture, is that flexibility, versatility, and ability to go from one court to another, sometimes even to another venue or county. On the other times that I am not needed at my home court, which is Santa Clara County, I would be released to serve other courts in neighboring counties.
The environment is very formal, very highly structured. Each person has a particular role. There's a lot of protocol, and it's very important to know what the protocol is in general in a courtroom, and also specifically what that bailiff likes, how the judge likes to do things. There's a great variety of assignments. Traffic court, sexual assault cases, hearings for restraining orders, family law cases where they're talking about alimony and custody, juvenile matters. The theory and practice of the job are very different. In theory, you can hear everything perfectly, and people don't mumble. And in reality, people speak extremely fast, they mumble, so things are much messier than I thought.
Most of the time, I would say 90% of the time, I'm asked to do simultaneous interpreting, which means interpreting for the defendant for a court proceeding. When you interpret for a witness, consecutive mode of interpretation would be most appropriate, because everything the witness say is interpreted, and the interpretation would be taken down by the court reporter. So the interpreter needs to take careful and meticulous notes of the utterances of the witnesses. And from time to time, this is the least frequent mode of interpretation that is required of us, which is called the sight translation. It's important to be accurate, maintain the register. We don't want to take away from the message or add anything.
I always carry in my bag notes and lists of words, and I continuously try to improve my vocabulary.
I run into many types of people who play very many different roles in the legal and courtroom environment. You have the defendant, what I call the limited English speaking person. May it be the defendant or the witness that you need to interpret for.
You solemnly swear that you will well and fully interpret from English to Spanish and from Spanish to English all questions, answers, testimony, and proceedings in this matter.
We cannot give legal advice because we're not trained as lawyers to give legal advice. We're language people. We are trained to convey meaning. to the person. So it's very important that we keep our roles limited to what we're trained to do.
We have more opportunity right now for interpreters, and it's really in high demand right now. Take classes on everything. Try and get as much knowledge under your belt. Go to the different locations, different courtrooms, and just sit in the back, see what's going on.
Every day is different. And it's a never-ending opportunity to learn something new every day.
Okay, guys, do we have questions for this one? Let's have a chat before we hop into the next slide.
Is it allowed to go before our appointment or anything, like just to learn the course at the court, what's going on? Like to
Yes.
just learn. Is that allowed?
Yes, so there is a lot of different cases at the court where you can go daily and you can just, went to the room, just sit at the back somewhere and just watch the proceeding. Some of the court cases are behind the closed door, but there is a lot of them where the doors are open and anyone can from the street, from the public, can enter the courtroom to see what's going on, for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Next slide, let's go. Where is that? This one was here. All right, so your best practices. Best practices for that. Wait, did we went through the no, we missed someone. Yeah, we missed this one, right? Yeah, the challenges, I guess. Oh yeah, because I messed it up. All right. All right. So the challenges that and the best practice. Let's go for that. So number one challenge, legal terminology. So that's probably the biggest one. And the best practice, definitely glossary. Always try to Google new words. If you hear something, write them down, check them out at home. Always, I would say, determine the terminology for both actually legal and medical. This is that will be with you all the time. And the more you know and the more you understand, that's going to be only benefit you, and it will be better for the next appointments. Another big challenge, well, emotional and sensitive situations where the interpreters will be eventually exposed to different cases, different testimonies of people, where some emotional situations can happen when this sensitive content will appear. And that is something, well, mostly I would say it's going to be family and criminal courts. That's where a lot of the situations can happen. But you need to keep in mind that, again, you need to be neutral person. You need to be professional, and you cannot show them everyone at the courtroom that you feel the sympathy for maybe for the person that you're interpreting for, or the other party, that you feel anger. Because again, if we're talking about the court hearings, you need to understand that no one is guilty until the actual verdict will come out. And the same thing in the other direction, like if there is a person that is currently innocent, everything can change at the end of the proceeding. So that's why you have to stay neutral. You cannot like be a fan of one of the sides for sure. Dialects. So here is the situation when a lot of interpreters struggling, our company struggling. So yeah, dialects and all the cultural nuances and stuff. And again, it's not just the language. A lot of different languages have different dialects. Some of you live in a different part of the countries, and eventually there is a lot of different words that might be included, let's say, at the north part of your country, but it's not included in the southern part of your country. So you guys gonna meet, and the interpretation we provided. So here, actually, we are trying to help as much as possible, and I'm usually taking those information from the court, or from the lawyers, like where the person is coming from, what area, what country, what might be the dialect, to pick up the best matching person pretty much. And based on that, we can then we can send the interpreter to us, right? So I would say yes, there is a lot of different challenges. Probably another thing will be like how you can get yourself ready and how you can just hop into this fast-paced environment like they were mentioned in the video. There's a lot going on, and suddenly, yes, you are hopping to this big building. All those guards are standing there. You are feeling a little bit intimidated maybe on the beginning. Eventually you hop into the courtroom, and now everyone with their roles maybe going to start talking to you. You're going to hear something from the guard in the room. You're going to hear something maybe from the lawyers, from the judge. The court clerk will be involved in that, and eventually you might to get lost. And yeah, that's where the panic can come out with. But again, just take a deep breath, because there's like these people are working with you pretty much. So you guys are all on the same page, and eventually at the end, everyone need to get it done. And from your end, you have to provide just the best translation you can do, right? So those are pretty much those big. Now, if talking about the limits and decline if you're not qualified, well, that's another thing that's a lot of interpreters is doing, actually. And whenever the interpreter says, yes, I can do this, or I can speak that language or that dialect, well, eventually it comes out that the interpreter cannot do this. And the worst time when that is happening is during the session, during the appointment. Sometimes it's just the physiotherapy, but sometimes it can be medical session. It also happened a couple of times during the legal appointments where interpreter was saying like, yes, I can speak the language, I know everything, but eventually it was very, very poor interpretation provided. And well, eventually the law office said they don't want that interpreter anymore. We needed to find someone else, which took a little bit more time again. So there is nothing wrong if you will say, no, I cannot do it, I'm not qualified for that. Actually, I encourage to do that if you feel that something might be too much for you. It will save time for you as well. And it will save that fear that, okay, what if I will do something bad and I will say something bad? What that can have like the ending effect on the client, right? So yeah, just be sure that you are prepared for the task. And just never hop somewhere. Like if you feel like, yeah, that might be too much, just say it out right away, and it's gonna be fine. Like there is no consequences for that. It's only that means there's only place for the improvement, and probably that's why we're doing the program right now, to have that improvement for everyone, just to see like what's going on in those both legal and medical settings. If you were just used to it to have a WCB appointments, for example, right? Terminology. Yes, keep that, write it, because it is handy, and you can use those notes. You can have that in your notebook, for example, if you miss something. Again, I'm creating a PDF files for that as well, if you need it. And if you think it's handy, print it out, save it on your phone. Just keep it somewhere that can be helpful for you. Don't be scared of using that, because definitely there might be words that no one of us here is using, and in both medical and legal settings. There might be a lot of them. So just be sure that's what's gonna happen. You don't want to miss something. So I would say, yeah, just keep that. Okay, I have a couple other videos here today. And one is, well, that's a pretty short one, actually. I think they are all pretty short today. So one is here, which is the importance of being the interpreter. So let's quickly watch this one. This is just a quick advertising for you that all the stuff that you guys do are important. And even if we're talking about only physiotherapy, or we're talking only about medical sessions, at the end of the day, you are the heroes who helping connect those people together. You are helping people to get the proper prescription. You're helping them to get the actual lawyer advice, maybe, and there also can be treated properly at the court. So at the end, yes, your job is important. It's not just a random interpretation or having a fun and pretending that you can do something. It's more into that. And a lot of people is, I would say, grateful for your help. Maybe they're not always showing that, but believe me, if not you, they will never communicate. So just keep that in mind, that that's why I wanted to show you that video, that yes, your job is important. It's very important. All right, now the court interpreter. We're gonna have a quick
Court interpreting is
video
important because in court, the record is kept in English in the United States. And the interpreter is the only person there available to bridge the language gap between the language of record, which is English, and whatever source language is being interpreted. I think what I find most rewarding from being a interpreter was basically being able to participate in the justice system of the United States. And basically being able to remove an impediment so that the judge, the jury, and the participants in the courtroom can really get about the business. The different modes of interpretation are simultaneous, consecutive, and sight translation. Consecutive interpretation is kind of a third-party interpretation. You always have to have 3 people present. One who speaks only English, another person that speaks the target language, we'll say Spanish for demonstration purposes, and then of course an interpreter who speaks both. And that interpreter will convey the speech exactly as was said in one language into the other. Now we'll see a demonstration of consecutive.
Sir, please state your name for the record.
Señor, por favor diga su nombre para efectos de acta.
Me llamo Marco Rubio.
My name is Marco Rubio.
Do you know the defendant, Esteban Rubio?
¿Conoce al acusado Esteban Rubio?
Claro, lo conozco. Es mi hermano.
Of course, I know him. It's my brother. Well, simultaneous interpretation is pretty much as the name says. The person is interpreting at almost the exact same time as the person that's speaking. The reason I say almost the exact same time is it's usually a 3 or 4 word match, so the person can hear what's going on and repeating the same thing, but into another language. Now we'll see a demonstration of simultaneous interpreting by using shadowing, which will give you a pretty good example of what interpreting is.
I've created this exercise to show you in
I've
English
created this
the way simultaneous interpretation
in
works.
The way simultaneous.
What I'm doing right now is called shadowing.
What I'm doing right now.
That is repeating what another person says
That is
word for word
repeating what another
in the
person
same source language.
Word for word.
That
in the same
means in
source
the same language
That
spoken.
means in the same language.
Interpreters do this in court, but into a target language, uttering the equivalent of the speech heard
Uttering
into the source
equivalent of
language.
speech heard into the source language. Now you've seen the way we do it in court. I'm going to read the same text again. Why don't you give it a shot and see if you're able to do it as well? Start probably about 5 or 6 words after I start talking. I created this exercise to show you, in English, the way simultaneous interpretation works. What I'm doing right now is called shadowing. That is, repeating what another person says word for word in the same source language. That means in the same language in which it was spoken. Interpreters do this in court, but into a target language, uttering the equivalent of the speech heard into the source language.
Okay. Oh. Questions? Let's have a chat. We have a little bit earlier Q&A today because the last time we went a little bit over time, so I wanted to start a little bit earlier. So yeah, if we have something, if you guys want to share your own experience from the court, I know there's a few of you here who actually is doing those appointments. So please tell us.
Can I ask? It's not related to what this topic, but I'm also not yet for court. Maybe future, but I hope. For now, what my question is, if the client wants to say something and then says, "Oh, leave that, don't tell," so they think I'm hiding something. What should I do?
If the client talked to you and you,
Yeah,
so,
if the client says something and then says, "Can I tell?" No, don't tell them. And then I had to leave with that things. And
well,
then they think I'm hiding something. So how I can prove? Like, what can I say?
yeah, well, by the code, you have to state it that, hey, the client was asking about this.
Something, say something, but it says don't tell.
Well, then you have to include it, but I should not tell, but yes, I mean, like that's why the whole idea of explaining the clients on the beginning of the session.
So I can tell the client, don't say anything what you don't want to share, right?
Well,
can I say that?
If we hop into let's see if I can share the screen with a different file here, maybe. So
yeah.
Did we talked about the interpreter's remarks, like the
preparing the client, right?
No, like the speech of the interpreter and stuff. So for the
Introduction.
yeah, it's a little bit different. Let me just quickly open that.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit different because if the client says something, because we are speaking the same language, and then it says when I'm going to tell, and then it says don't tell. So it's like I'm hiding something in front of them. So
No, so that's
You
Would
have
it
to
be that you have to
interpret
translate the
everything,
same
yeah.
thing he said, even if he say don't say it, you have to say that too?
Don't say it. You have to interpret it
here's-
exactly being said.
So here's the thing.
yeah.
Whenever and actually we hear today from the supervision of the court scheduling team from Calgary that one of our interpreters actually provided that, and they were confused. They didn't know what happened
Yes.
because they do not know that. But yes, if answering your question, so you state your name and you can tell them that during the session, the lawyer will ask the questions, right? Again, you have no knowledge of your case.
That's right.
Of questions or clarification, you have to ask directly the lawyer. Well, if you are doing medical, directly the doctor, the physiotherapist, you name it. They cannot tell you randomly something and say, do not tell. You're not over there just for this, right? So, and here's again, I will interpret all your answers in the first person, so there should be no confusion. And then if you will do any from your end, well, you're gonna introduce yourself in a third person as an interpreter, right? So technically, if anything is those little chit chats are stated, yes, you will have to tell them on the beginning of the session. And the problem is that a lot of places like the courts or law office, well, they do not know that you are bound by the code of ethics and you're supposed to tell that to the client, right? And that's why when we heard last time when the interpreter went to the court and said that, they were just standing and they didn't know what to say. They actually provided feedback. They just didn't know how to say what is going on. Like they didn't know. The supervisor asked us today, I'm not sure if it's a complaint or not, but your interpreter did this, right? And that was the first time that they heard that from the interpreter. And well, basically, we start to laugh as well because we said, well, finally, someone is following the procedures, right? So keep in mind that it's not only the client that do not understand what's going on. Many times, the courts and the lawyers and people have no clue what's going on over there, right? But yes, I encourage any type of appointments. If they even just tell them right away on the beginning, it's not your role to have a chat now and say like, oh, please don't tell. You have to. You have to.
Yeah, something little thing like something us or maybe like they're not helping well or something like and then it says don't tell, and then say how.
You have to. You have to.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, you have to because eventually they can blame you. Like, hey, why didn't say that? Like maybe he said like, oh well, I know my broken leg is not healing, but please don't.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. For example, that's right.
So okay, fine.
Yeah, for example, sorry, I interrupted you. For example, last time I'm here, they didn't help me well and blah 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 blah. And then it says, don't tell them. Just this is like, I says, what?
Yeah, but what if in 2 weeks
For example,
they're gonna lose their leg because it was not treated properly, right? So there's a lot of like you have to see the bigger picture from a simple what do not tell what can happen with that client in the future, right? Exactly. Same thing in the legal settings. Like he might to speak in your language and eventually you're in that cross-examination and he will say, well, like I hit the car, but don't tell.
Exactly.
Like, come on, right? So now kind of you're involved in a crime.
Yeah, I'm stuck in the middle, so
Right.
they
There you
confused
go.
too.
Yeah, and in the medical settings, yes, if you also, there will be don't tell. Again, well, if you actually tell, who knows? Maybe they're gonna provide a better doctor. Maybe they will finally, right? So, yeah, I would say take a bigger picture on that, whatever is happening, and you have to say everything.
Thank you. Thank you.
Momina, go ahead. Oh, is she not here anymore? Hello, Momina.
Hello, Peter. Hello, everyone. Hi. Yeah, so I just wanted to share a little bit of my experience with courtroom.
Mhm.
I was assigned in a courtroom in Edmonton, and thankfully, I went a little bit earlier than assigned time. And when I went there for the person that I was assigned, I introduced myself for them and the court clerk. And then they figure out that like he doesn't need an interpreter, and he was kind of like felt assaulted. No, sorry, he kind of like felt like down or something. He was like, I don't need an interpreter. I have born and raised here, and I don't know who assigned you. Like, why you're here? He was kind of like attacking me. But then the court clerk, she helped me out, and she went above and beyond. And then she found out that I was not assigned for the victim. For the accused person. I was actually assigned for the victim. So then we find out, and then it was taking a little bit of time because there was a lot of confusion with the lawyer, the court, and then the victim and the accused. And then, so what I meant to say here is that it's very important to go a little bit early especially for the court appointments. Sometimes there are a lot of confusion like that. The same thing happened for the other courtroom for the other appointment that I had. There was also a little bit confusion from the requesting the interpreter for something else, and then it was something else. So it's very important to go a little bit early for them to find out and figure out stuff, because I think it is also kind of maybe like now it's getting like a little bit normal, but like maybe they are also like kind of new to requesting an interpreter and then getting to know about the whole process. So it is very important, and then going a little bit early can solve a lot of problem that like at the same time, if you go at the same time and then you will face the same situation, it's going to be like affecting the courtroom and everything, all the process. So yeah, just wanted to share my experience that going a little bit early can save you and them a lot of like time and also trouble for the appointment.
Thank you. No, that's a great feedback here. My question is now, who made the mistakes? Was it maybe our office? Was it the court? So there's many times when the court, for example, do not provide some of the information. And even if we're asking, they're like, no, that's a privacy policy. We cannot state that. So sometimes they're just, hey, we need an interpreter for, I don't know, Mr. John Doe. But we do not know if that person is the accused person, if it's in defense, if it's a person that actually need interpreter or not. And sometimes, yes, those confusions are coming up. But also there is something that we should improve from our end as well. That's why now we're taking more. Well, I'm trying to attack the court interpretation service and their department with all the random questions, because I need to be sure that the interpreter will be provided there. Regarding coming early, I would say also take under consideration that in the morning hours, court is open at 8:30. If you have an appointment at 9 or 9:30, you should be there a little bit earlier, because everyone are going to work over there as well. And the lineup in the security checks can take forever. And now if you get late to your courtroom, well, they can cancel it right away. Because I believe there's like, let's say in the one courtroom, there can be like 5-10 different cases. and they're just going one by one, one by one, one by one. It's like a a big machine kind of. So you just be sure that whenever the appointment is at 9, it doesn't mean that you have to be at the court at 9. You have to be in the courtroom at 9. So just take that under consideration as well. Jamal, go ahead.
Yes, Better. I have a question. During the interpreting time, if the client they mix language, for example, if they continue in English, what can I do in this situation? I can translate, or what the situation going on?
English? Well, if they will start speaking in English, they're responsible for their words. So let them go.
What I mean, in the first time by the another language, then they continue in English.
So they kind of like switching back and forth, back and forth. So you do interpretation, or they speak by themselves. Is that
Yeah.
Yeah. So just be there with them. That's fine. If they think they can handle the conversation, just let them go with the flow. But just tell them that you are here. If they need you, you can take the role, right? Yeah, sure. I mean, some of the clients do not exactly like they do speak English, but they need interpreter to help them understand like maybe some particular words here and there that they might have a problem to understand. And that's pretty much your role. But if they have like, if there is just a free conversation in English, yeah, sure, go ahead, let them do it, right? You can be on standby, that's totally fine. But I would say, yeah, just let them know that if they need something, they can just stop and tell them, okay, you take it. And because I don't understand, right? So for sure.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Sometimes though, also what they do is the requester, even though they can speak English, if the interpreter has been provided, they will make them to stop and speak their language, and then the translator can translate for them. So if that happens, you don't have to say anything. You just wait until the requester says something, because they know he's speaking English. It's not your problem. So you just have to tell them that I am here if you need me. That's it.
Momina, you have something more?
Yeah, just I wanted to add on the same topic that I added before, that the mistake was through the court, so it was definitely not Sandal. They accepted that and they said that's our mistake. And the other thing that I wanted to add, that there was the confusion of the courtroom as well, because of like going early. That helped me out. Like I was assigned in a different courtroom, and then once I find that courtroom in 3rd floor, and then I figure out that it is not the same courtroom. The case is not here. So I needed to look for the other courtroom that the actual hearing was going to happen. So yeah, just all those at the same time. But just wanted to add that it was not through the mistake was not from Sandal. It was through the courtroom. So just I wanted to add that part. And also for the same topic that we are discussing, I was assigned for someone as well that he could speak like really good English. And then at the beginning of the hearing, me the victim and the judge, we all have agreed on we were on the same page that he can speak like a very good English, and if he needed, he will let me know, and he will let the judges know that he needs this part to be interpreted. So if we can clarify this at the very beginning, and that's going to be like really easy and smooth for the rest of the hearing. So just wanted to add that this was something that I had before. I was assigned for someone, but he was speaking a very good English. So, but I was there and I was helping him through the hearing only for the parts that he was looking at me, that like giving me the sign that like he couldn't get it. So then I was like interrupting and then interpreting for them. Otherwise, he was like very fluent and good. So just wanted to add that part as well.
All right, well, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, Peter Omar is here, waiting.
Omar is here.
Yes, I've been like asking a lot of times. I didn't get a chance to speak. How are you?
Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry.
So I have basically
It's Omar.
on the last topic.
Yeah.
I've been assigned last time, like at the court,
Mhm.
and there was a client. The client decided to speak by himself in English. I inform the lawyers, both lawyers. Like my client can speak, but if he needs help, I can help him. And then from your side, if you need me, I'm here. So
Yeah.
that was continue, but I noticed something in the middle. The client he was missing some words or some clarifications, but he is speaking still continue. So I informed the lawyers there is some mistakes. Should I correct him or should we continue? So from that time, the lawyers both agreed to stop the client and then speak in his language and then translate to him. So it can help as well. Instead of listening, be quiet until something happen or something wrong. If we notice now something, if we are already assigned, so we need to inform both the lawyers or the crown prosecutors. And then if we notice something, I think we have to inform them as well, because the case might go wrong. So the second question I have is, if we assign as interpreters the court, at the time of the hearing, if we notice one of the clients are friends, close friends, or family members, what should we do as interpreters? So, thank you.
Well, so here we are entering pretty much the stage of a conflict of interest. Now there are two solutions. Number one, you might be removed from the appointment. It all up to the clients or the lawyers. If you will state that you guys know each other, they might to ask to remove you and we have to replace you. Number two, which is not that obvious for all the clients, you are bound by the code of ethics, and it says that you are staying neutral at all the time. But people do not trust the code of ethics, unfortunately, and they might assume that you will be still biased. But yes, in your defense, you can say that you were bound by the code and you know, and the confidentiality of the client, and you will stay also neutral. Like you have nothing to do with the client's case. Yes, you know each other, but you are not involved in what this appointment is about, right? And well, tell that on the very beginning of the session, because before you guys are gonna start the session. So here, there's again, we have another solutions. The lawyers will say, okay, that's fine, it's not a big deal. Usually it happens during the physio sessions, WCB. So that is happening many times when the clients know each other. But yeah, because it's just a physio, no one cares. It's better sometimes when some friendly person can do interpretation. But those are the topics where there is nothing stated that will affect the case or the claim of that person in the future, right? So like you guys are not talking about the benefits or anything like that. You're just talking strictly about here is that you have to exercise your leg, and that's 10 reps, and that's my translation to you. Okay. Now another solution, well, the client will say no, because you guys know each other and they do not want you to be involved in that. Well, just simply they don't want to, right? So again, in that case, you'll be removed. We have to replace you for that. Of course, if any conflict of interest is happening and there's a situation when the interpreter is removed from our end as a company, well, you are still getting paid full for that appointment. So it's not like we're just kicking you out. It's still considered as a full appointment for you, and we pretty much assigning a different interpreter to the same session. And then in that case, both interpreters are still getting paid for that. So just keep in mind that if something like this is happening, you will not be just kicked out and yeah, that's it. No, it's still considered as an actual appointment for the time that it was. Okay. Now let's flip it on the other way. You know the lawyer, right? Or you know the physiotherapist or the doctor. So again, in this case, you need to tell the client about this, right? Now, just do not confuse knowing the lawyer because you're working with the lawyer all the time. It's more like knowing the lawyer, okay, because maybe it's a family member or a friend. Because eventually, if you're going to start doing legal appointments more and more, these people are not changing. So the lawyer is going to stay the same. Probably the judge is going to be the same. So yes, you will know them, but you will still know these people on the professional level, like coworkers, kind of, right? So in that case, yes, it's not considered as a conflict. I hope that kind of answered the question.
Well, you answered all my questions. Thank you very much, Peter.
All right, sure, no problem.
Can I ask? Sorry, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I did raise also my hand. Sorry about that. One more question on this topic.
Mhm.
If the client is start talking, so I just want to just listen until they need me, until she or he, until they ask me to translate it, or I can interrupt like Umar says, like because there is a mistake because
Are
of
they
the.
going to speak in English still or not anymore?
I mean, like if the client start talking to English, like between instead of need me or instead of I'm beside them, like for example, like Umar says, someone is example, it's not happened yet. Just example. If that person is speaking English, broken English, whether he mistake or correct, so I just have to listen or interrupt.
Yeah. No,
which ones?
You can just tell them, okay, I'm here for you. If you decide that you want to switch and you cannot handle the conversation anymore, I will take the place and I will help you out.
Okay,
right?
so I shouldn't interrupt.
No, that's not a question to Peter.
Thank you.
If the client made mistake, if the client is like given wrong statement or wrong answers, that's what she meant, I think, right?
Yeah, but that's on them.
So let them continue then.
Let them continue. That's on
Yeah,
them.
yeah, that's what I'm asking because I
Basically,
don't have to interrupt. Yeah.
Yes, you are. So the thing is, like, well, if you are a good person, you probably will interrupt. I'm guessing all of you gonna interrupt because you don't want to hurt that person to get hurt. And eventually you can just stop and tell the lawyer or the doctor, like, that you should take, like, maybe do not say exactly how that person doesn't know what is talking about. Her English is terrible or something, but tell them, the doctor, that I encourage to, so I can like to forward and push that I will do the interpretation for the person. It's gonna be better. So
Thank
kind of
you.
like, you know, just approach from a different side, because yeah, you also don't want to kind of like humiliate the person that trying to speak in English and eventually, well, yeah, there might be a mistake. If it's a one like small tiny like mistakes here and there, yeah, that's fine. But if they will start maybe talking about their case or in medical settings about what's going on with their health, and they're gonna make a mistake which will affect like the treatment or the verdict, I would say yes, just maybe interrupt politely and just tell the lawyer or the doctor that you should take care of that. They're gonna figure out what's going on for sure.
Thank you so much.
Sure. All right, do we have anything else coming up? Come on, you guys, tell me something. Azeb, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Hey, help me out. Do you have some stories from the court? Tell us something to not avoid.
There sometimes the client feels like comfortable They think sometimes they
Give us the
understand
worst
everything.
day. There you go. Give us the worst day at the court.
The worst day of the court. Okay, let's remember one thing. It's not really the worst day, but
Yeah.
there were misunderstanding, which is, as last time I explained, I'm gonna ask him the question, but he will answer different, which is, let's say I'm asking him about his hand, right? He's gonna answer about his leg.
Yeah.
So I have to translate. He's talking about his leg. He's not talking about it, but the lawyer asked for the leg, the hand, and maybe the client is answering for the leg. So I'm asking him maybe how's your hand? What's stopping you from doing this activity, right? And
Yeah.
you will answer about walking. I cannot walk. So the lawyer may think you cannot translate or you're not delivering the message correctly. So, and then they're gonna stop. Are you guys the same country? Do you speak the same dialogue? Those kind of stuff. So when that happen, you just have to tell them, yes, I confirm usually. I am from Eritrea. And then I will say, are you from Eritrea? So, which is, when I confirm those countries, they may think like we have the same dialogue. I speak Tigrinya because in Eritrea there is so many language as well. I speak Tigrinya. Do you speak Tigrinya? He will say yes. So now the lawyer is comfortable, and then the client is comfortable, but still they may answer different answers. So at that time, I will stop usually. This is not the answer you're looking for, but he is answering about his leg. I'm just clearing the problem. And they will say, okay, that's not the question I asked. Do you want me to repeat? They will repeat it the way he understand it. And then I will translate it the way he understand it also. But sometimes the lawyer, they can become frustrated, and then they just react instead of finding a solution. It doesn't mean it's your mistake though. It is we all carry something. Don't take it personally. So if they said, if you're not comfortable, humbly, I can be removed. That is respecting to them, respecting yourself as well. You don't have to fight. That's what I had. So the client may answer something. You don't know where they are, what kind of medication they are taking. It's so many things. So those are the issue I had one time. And then the lawyer said, okay, then let's continue. After we stop recording, because we have to stop recording and then clear everything out. Then we have to start from the beginning, and then, yeah. And then the lawyer is comfortable, everybody is comfortable.
Yeah, something like this can happen. Thank you, Zeb. Something like this can happen at the court, for example. And if the judge or the lawyers say, okay, so we do not trust the interpreter because the client says one thing, the interpreter says another thing, well, at the end of the day, they might provide that transcript to the another interpreter, like someone independent, third-party interpreter, and now that person will check it and say like, no, Azeb was right. She was saying exactly what the client was saying, so that was the client was fault. He was trying to, lie about the questions or something. So in that case, yes, until you're confident with that what you're doing, and you are sure that those are the words, just keep your side all the time. If they want to argue, eventually, yes, they can provide a complaint maybe, and but then we always telling them, okay, so just check out the records, check out the transcript, let's see what happened, if anything was recorded. I believe the law offices are doing recordings as well, from time to time, I think. So if those things are happening, yeah, you guys are absolutely covered, because not all, like I mentioned today, that yes, you guys are the heroes, but some of the people will not think you are heroes. They're gonna consider you as an enemy. And they will feel like they're in danger because now they cannot hide things. They have to say those things, and those things will be translated properly, right? So same thing like Mariama mentioned here, like they will tell you something and don't tell, like, no, it cannot happen. You have to state everything. You have to translate whatever they said. Even if they say, oh, that lawyer is stupid, well, you have to say, and then you have to say in the first person, which is more funnier. So because now you're gonna,
Yeah,
so,
it happened.
but again, you have to be sure and confident with stuff that you're doing all the time, right? Until you keep that professionalism on here, and you know your interpretation is accurate, there is nothing to worry about. Never. It should be fine.
It is not scary. Some terminology, like the word of the lawyer, it may get you may not know everything, right? You can, instead of just guessing and translating, you may ask them, what do you mean? You can ask. You have a right to ask. Also, they're not going to judge you because they know you are interpreter. They know you may not know all the terminologies for lawyers or medical. What do you try to say? They can clear it. Oh, this is what I meant. In a different way, they can translate. They can clear it for you instead of saying a different word, that which is not really that word. So just ask them, I don't understand this word. What does that mean? So
yeah, you can ask the lawyers or the judge, but you have to say it like in the third person, because now when you so here's the thing, a lot of judges or lawyers or doctors, because they do not know the rules, they might feel confused that you're gonna speak for 2 hours in the first person and asking the question, you cannot say, oh, sorry, I don't understand, because now they're gonna think that you're talking the name of the client. So whenever you want to clarify anything, you don't know anything, I think we talked about this on Friday, on Thursday, that you say in the third person, because now that first person spot is taken for the client and you are the third person. So that means interpreter is asking for clarification. Interpreter is asking for a break. So you want to kind of like keep on the two different sides, the client first person speech and your as in the third person speech, right? Another thing that might come up whenever you might to get lost, confused, and you're going to start asking questions in the legal settings, I would say those long testimonies, the long trials, usually most of those appointments that we're booking for are between 6 to 8 hours sometimes. And well, that mental fatigue gonna come up at some point, right? And you need to be sure that you're still doing the same thing as you did on the first hour as you're doing in the last the sixth hour. Like try not to like go from the perfect translation to random mumbling after 5 p.m., right? Because that's where they can get lost again. And it's usually happening. I like the cross-examinations, the testimonies, the long trials. And sometimes you're gonna be there for a week or 2 weeks or a month, right? We might assign you to that. And each day gonna be an 8-hour day at the court. So this is something that you also should be prepared that those are not anymore random 1-hour sessions or 40-minute sessions. Those are things that can happen and will be for a longer period of time. So just keep that in mind, that you still need to maintain the whole professionalism for the whole day of the sessions as well, right? iPhone, yes. What is the question from the iPhone?
Sorry, Peter, it's Amani.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah, how are you? Peter, I just have a question. I'm trying to take a legal interpretation course to be trained very well for legal interpretation, but I'm still very confused. I tried to go online and search where I can start from,
Right,
but
you don't believe in my training?
I believe in your training. That's not my issue at all. I'm okay with your training. That's why I'm here. And of course I trust it. But what I'm trying to say, I want to take a legal interpretation as the interpretation itself, like to be trained for vocabs, legal vocabs, a glossary, and that kind of stuff. I found something online that I can have a course with MCIS College, but I don't know how much is that true, and so that's why I wanted to ask you or Mr. Raj where I can start from if I want to take a legal interpretation course, like in my language and in English.
Well, but MCIS is the language source.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. They have a course for
Yes.
maybe like $2,000 or something like that online. I can take it, but at the same time, they don't give interpretation like as an English Arabic interpretation. They just give what you are giving to us right now. So I didn't see it's worth it to register for that course.
Yeah, they do something, sure. $500. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I actually emailed them and I
Well,
asked about the details.
Thank you, sister. I like that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I should charge you guys too, at least $50, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
So, well, I will probably have to take a look on it because
Please.
so it's about it's code of ethics and stuff and what's going on, site translation, yeah. I'm not sure how they're connected to the government because usually government is that body that will give you the actual certification and permission to be like a professional certified person where you can actually put the stamp on and say,
Yeah.
I'm the certified interpreter now or translator. I was not doing too much research about language solution or 911. Well, they're still our competitors, so I need to take on so I'm not exactly sure how that works.
Like for me, I feel like the path is very vague. I know I can have courses here and there, like with you right now, but I'm trying to study the interpretation in the most professional way. So I come out from the course with all the necessary terms that I need to know and with a lot of like information.
All right, so these guys are apparently hooked up to a Ministry of Attorney General Ontario. So I will have to do the research for this. So, well, obviously, I mean, there is no, like, we cannot fight with language solution, like they're like, worldwide. So probably, yes, they might have something. If you want to do something on your own, well, probably CILISAT is your first step. That's where everything starts, from the CILISAT. Then you have the ATO. And ATO is the Association of Translators and Interpreters of Ontario.
Yes.
And you are joining them.
But all of that is like they ask you to do exams. But I'm talking about the preparation phase. I want to be prepared. That's what I'm saying.
So there is no like actual preparation because they many times they're assumed that you are prepared already to go down, right? If your preparation technically is your experience. To be an actual interpreter, certified interpreter, I think they require like 500 hours working in a legal field. So that is your preparation for the exam. But again, I will have to sit down a little bit and do some research.
Please.
And based on that, I can provide better information. then
Yeah, and Peter, can you help me to where can I find
So we
material
do the
to
wasteless
study
beans.
for the
I did 50
SILISAT?
years ago.
I can send that to you as
Now
well.
they need me to do
Can you please?
like
Thank
if
you.
I need extra, I said, "Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can do it.
Thank you so much.
Me too, Peter. Me too. As it.
Can you for me, please? Two. Sorry.
Well, I can send everyone. I told you
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you.
Abigail, you have something?
Sorry, just Peter, one last thing, sorry. Is the SILISAT same as the ILSAT in Ontario? Are they the same or different?
Oh, they're a little bit different.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
I will give you the comparison between the two as well.
Perfect. Thank you. I'll be waiting for that.
All right. Abigail?
Yeah, I just wanted to make a little comment in regards of the information and transferring all the information and all that in terms of what courses we were taking. Just the person that was saying the iPhone person that it's in there, and I don't know who it is. I appreciate what you're doing, Peter, because I know that if we were receiving this sessions other places, they will charge about 145 if it is maybe an hour for that. So I do appreciate what you're doing because I think you are helping the Sandals team to prepare for what we are doing, for what we're working without no charge. So I think it's very important to acknowledge that as well, because we are not going to be able to receive this kind of trainings free. Now they charge most of the time. So I just wanted to say that.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm gonna blush. Like, there was actually a couple of people asking me if we're gonna pay them for this participation. I was like, no, sorry, we can't pay you guys for that.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, this is a big thing for me, especially. I need more experiences with you guys, and also thank you so much for the training.
Oh, you guys are too kind now. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I mean, hey, we're not done yet. We are not even halfway done. Okay, so we're pretty much done for today. This one was just a quick one. Some of them might be a little bit shorter. The one on Thursday was a little bit longer. So the plan for this week: tomorrow we have medical, Wednesday we have legal, Thursday we have medical. And now that's gonna be number 4, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. And after that, we can do the summary and we can do the test. Now, my question for the exam is that probably not everyone gonna be available at the same time. And even if there will be everyone available, I'm not sure if we can create the exam room for like 100 people. So we have to figure out how we're gonna approach that.
What
So I
time-
was thinking,
What time will be the examen?
yeah, so
Maybe.
that is my question now. So I was thinking that we might to maybe do like 3 or 4 windows. So let's say the first 20 spots will be from 1 till 2. Another 20 spots from 2 till 3. I guess, or I can create the list and then start getting the signature, whoever want to sign for the day. Because I'm not sure if, like, I want to do it in the one day, but I'm not sure if we're gonna make it to do it in one day. Right, so.
How about the people that are working in the afternoon?
Yeah, I think that's where the conflict will happen. Yeah, that's where it's gonna pop up. So we can also try maybe do it at 4 p.m. But if I'm gonna just keep it for 4 p.m., then we're gonna do it for the full week.
Yeah, I think if you can do different time and then whoever is available, we can take as better.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking probably. So I will try to figure out some ideas by Friday. Now the Thursday is my question. Do you guys want to do a module or you want to do a review of the 5 modules?
I think in general review will be better than my idea.
Because let me see here, where's the schedule? All right, so today we have 30. So today we have the module 3, and then we're gonna have module 4 on the Wednesday. So module 5 is on Friday. Well, that's when it comes up as a module 5. So either so we have to do module 5 because Friday's not, so we're gonna do it on no, wait, Monday is off, guys. No, Friday is off.
Friday.
I think yeah, long weekend, yeah.
Right, Friday's off. All right, so module 5 will be on Monday. And on Tuesday we can do the exam. How about that?
Is Monday off as well? So it's Easter Monday?
Well, yeah.
For anyone?
Well, the Friday is the Easter Friday, right?
No, I think only Friday is holiday.
Peter, for how long is gonna be the I mean, it's gonna be next week only for the tasting, or is there any gonna continue the 3rd week as well?
No, because I want to yeah, that's
To answer all those questions, Peter, how many questions will be? How many points we should get? And then if there is a re-exam as well, can you explain this all to us? That would be great. Thank you.
the exam number 1 gonna have, I believe, around 70 questions. Maybe 60.
7060?
That a multiple choice or?
Yeah. Okay.
Altogether, so well, I mean, 5 modules, so there's a lot to cover. You guys went through those materials I sent you on Friday. There's a lot to cover.
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, are you going to send us the information, like how the test is gonna happen? Because I am not really sure about it. If you can please rephrase that for me. And also, are you going to do the legal first or the medical or both at the same time?
Is it not gonna be confusing for you if I will put the questions for medical and legal in the same test?
No, the better has to be separate.
Yeah,
I
probably.
was thinking that would be better if it's separate, but yeah, it's whatever the whole group will decide.
I think most of us we agree on that.
So, well, give me a night. I need to sleep with it, and then I'm gonna have questions. What kind of questions, Diana? Questions regarding the module. All the modules, 5 modules. I can't tell you what kind of questions because that's gonna be cheating.
Giving me the answer.
Yes, but no, generally there will be some multiple. There probably I want to give some scenarios. Probably will be more better built on the real scenarios because then you can actually find the answers and maybe a quick also a quick paragraph answer, maybe if we can provide that. So let me figure out which one will be better, and then maybe we can reduce them. Maybe less questions, and then we're gonna add more questions in the next exam after number 10 module.
Peter, only for my request. I don't know everybody is in the same situation. Next week it's the Holy Week for us, so I will be spending the church in the afternoon. I have a shift in the morning. I'm going to try to attend them, but in the afternoon I have a Holy Weeks and for until Friday. And then maybe I may not able to do next week the tasting. That's why I was asking, is it going to continue the next following weeks? Maybe for like people like me, I don't know. Or it has to be next week.
No, we can stop it. We can stop it. Oh, guys, here, good news. Check out where is it? All right, open to the YouTube. Looks like we have our stuff going on.
Oh, the link is up.
Yep. So you have two playlists. If you go to the playlist, you have the legal. Currently, I think there are two legals, and they're still working on the medical. But yes, 1, 2, 3 recordings are uploaded.
Yay, Peter is famous. He's in YouTube now.
And I have
Just
two.
kidding. Everybody's serious.
I have good stats. In 2 days, I have 2 views. Wow.
No, you will be having tons of it next week.
So anyway, yes. So recordings will be uploaded. So now I hope no one gonna panic about that. Other than that, yes, by Friday, by Thursday, actually, I will try my best to provide you all the rest of the PowerPoints and the rest of the written materials. And yeah, let me figure it out this, because now when Zeb is saying about this, the holidays and stuff, yeah, maybe we can figure out something else. No worries.
Thank you, Peter. Really appreciate it.
I can adjust. That's okay.
Or maybe it would be a good idea if people that is fasting, then you just give them a little bit of more time so then they can do the test when they can. For other people that I don't, but yeah, maybe it's easier.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I can pretty much, yeah, I can find solution to this for sure. Right. Not a big deal to figure out things. Are we gonna fix it? Okay, so we're done for today. That's it for today. Now I have to switch to another meeting right away after this.